Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, where today we find ourselves in our very first industrial area, Walnut Hills, all the way on this side of the map. And today we are going to be building our electricity plant, our power plant, because up until now, something is abandoned over here. Up until now, I have been using these geothermal power plants and plopping another one down whenever the need arose for more electricity. But today, we are going to start finally on our electricity power plant. And the goal for today is to build a power plant that produces enough power for the rest of this series to provide the city with enough power for the rest of its existence until we are done with building this city, but also have some space left in case we need to expand on it in the future anyway. Also, while we are here, this was supposed to be a cargo harbor, but we never built the actual cargo harbor part of the harbor, so that is something I want to be doing today as well. I think a nice little cargo area over here would fit in pretty nicely. We do have a couple of train stations over here. We have 1, 2 cargo stations. I think I'm going to replace this cargo station with this one over here. The warehouse with railway connection, which is pretty new. Maybe we need to sacrifice one of these storage pits as well. So that is the first part of today's episode. Now, when I take a look in my electricity tab, I have a whole lot of custom assets over here, and they're all from the dual nuclear power plant. And if we take these cooling towers, these are probably pretty realistic in terms of scale. And when we take the actual nuclear reactor that the in-game provides and compare the two, the size difference is almost comical. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use this one or this one, but we'll see how it goes. I did download a couple of other assets as well, like batteries and solar power arrays. We're definitely going to be using these solar updraft towers. I really like the way they look. We may even use parts of this nuclear thing that I have in my assets for some reason. I'm not quite sure. I'm undecided on these cooling towers because they are so humongous. But I think these are pretty realistic in scale. So it cost 1,000. Okay, let's plop one down. Let's see. It has no upkeep. But it also doesn't produce any power, I think. I think this is purely decorative. Yeah, the size of it's pretty ridiculous if we compare it to the rest of this map. Not sure. We'll see how it goes, but... Oh. The modular build, okay. Let's see how it goes. So we're going to start with the harbor over here. Then we are going to replace this train station, and then we are going to build our power plant. The goal for the power plant is to create twice as much power as it currently creates. So currently electricity production is at 640 megawatts. So we're aiming for, let's say, 1500 megawatts. That should be enough to keep the city running at least until the end of this series. So, and this is the area, of course, in which we are going to build it. We're going to replace all these thermal nuclear things. Maybe we'll add a few more on the side as well. We'll see how it goes. We're going to start with the harbor, then we're going to do the train station, and then we're going to do the power plant. So let's get started. here we are. I think I may have gotten a little bit carried away by building this new power plant, because if we take a quick look at the electricity that we are now producing, we were aiming for 1500 megawatts and we are now at 3000 megawatts. So that should last us until the end of this city easily. I don't think we'll have to expand anymore on that. And actually, we didn't put down that many power plant assets. If we look at what we put down, I put down 2 of these solar updraft towers, which of course produce 240 megawatts each. I did put down a couple of more of these geothermal power plants, but I think, yeah, these ones, 480 watt for the ocean thermal energy conversion plants, they contribute the most to our little power plant. And of course we put down some solar panels, but they don't produce a whole lot of electricity anyway. And we also put down some batteries who produce 5 megawatts each. So yeah, I like how this is starting to look, this little area. Over here in the corner there was a little bit of an awkward space, didn't know what to do with it. So I made it a little bit of a container yard with some trucks and some trailers. Also, I put in a lot of these parking lots, these covered parking lots. Really like the way how they look. They almost look like little parking garages, although I'm not a fan of this, I have to say. Or this, anyway. For cars it works perfectly. Also, yeah, all the parking spots over here are pretty much being used, so that is nice to see. We have plenty of it on this side of the rail. And I also moved the waste processing complex to over here. We have 15 of 15 trucks in use, so maybe we need a second one of these somewhere, because we do have a lot of waste transfer facilities dotted around the city, and this so far is the only waste processing complex that we have. And I put down one of the wonders, I think it is, no, one of the monuments. It's the ultimate recycling plant. The ultimate recycling plant is a monument that can manage huge amounts of garbage and process it to electricity, goods and raw materials. These products benefit your city or can be exported. Exporting is automatic if needed. Our first monument is in. I think it actually looks very similar to the waste processing complex, so I think it's a nice fit over here to put this one down over here. Yeah, and then fill in the rest of these empty spaces. I dotted around some generic industry buildings. These ones are from, I believe they are from that new Industry Throughout the Ages thing DLC. Yeah, Industrial Revolution Content Creator Pack. That is the one I was thinking about. And then these ones are the same as on this side of the island, which I downloaded from the workshop. What I did notice though is that our demand for commercial has gone up, and I think our demand for residential has gone up a tiny bit. So I'm thinking maybe because we created so many jobs around here now, maybe we need to add in a little bit of residential around here. I mean, this would be a cool place to start a little city. It has no direct highway access, but we have this regional highway coming down over here. And we do have access to the railroad over here. So I think that wouldn't be too bad of a place to put down some residential. So another thing that we put down over here is this warehouse with a railroad connection. And I absolutely love the way how this looks. These bays for trucks to park at, to back up into containers outside, a little bit of rubble, the pallets, stuff like that. I'm not a fan of how harsh this angle is. I think this is a little bit too much for freight trains, and I'm also not a fan that there is only an entrance in one side of the warehouse. I could connect the rail to the other side of the warehouse, and it does work. It's just that, you know, there isn't a gate over here, so trains go through the wall at the moment. Of course, we also built our little cargo harbor over here. I pushed it back into the land a little bit so the railroad wouldn't be over the water. I think that looks much nicer than the default look where, you know, 2/3 of the harbor comes out, sticking out of the water. I think this is way more realistic, way more how it would look in a real harbor. So yeah, traffic has resolved itself a little bit. The only thing we need now over here, as I said, is a little bit more residential, and I think we're going to do that over here right now. And of course we need a little bit of public transport here as well. I'm thinking maybe a bus station in front of the train station over here, some more parking, 1 or 2 bus routes across the industry area, and yeah, that is going to be the next job: residential and public transit. So let's get busy. And again, I think we got a little bit carried away, but I am very pleased with the results that we have done so far for this little village over here. The idea was to start over here, but I thought, you know what, the island is a little bit closer. So maybe let's start here, and I think the end result, or it's not the end result yet, the island isn't finished, we're only halfway there, but the way it looks right now, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I used a whole lot of these buildings, which are from, these buildings are from the Brooklyn and Queens Content Creator Pack by Prosper, and they look absolutely beautiful, and I think the majority of the rest of this island is going to be filled in with a whole lot more of these buildings. They have 19 households, this one has 21 households. This one is 18, this one is 19, so plenty of residential space for people to live in. So that's very, very nice. We created this little cool pedestrian bridge, which is actually used by a whole lot of people, which is cool. I didn't want to create a car bridge between these two areas because I thought, you know what, we want to encourage people to do that instead of taking a car. So if you want to take the car to work, you have to take the long way around. And actually a whole lot of people, if you take a look at the bridge over here, a whole lot of people that walk over here, they are using public transport going home or walking to work. See this one, for example, walking, going to carport slot, agent at the oil industry, which is somewhere on the industry part of the island. Walking, going home. So yeah, lots of people using that for their commute. Obviously lots of sports fields in this one, this community soccer park, which is actually at a little bit of an angle, which is kind of cool. And then a cricket pitch, which I hadn't used before in the city, but I think looks absolutely beautiful as well. So yeah, for the rest of this island, we are going to fill in most of it with residential, a little bit commercial as well. But that is for the next episode. The first thing we are going to do in the next episode is to finish this island. And then over here, we did build a little bit more commercial as well. Some more parking over here. Definitely a lot of parking over here. I don't get why it's so busy over here. Not just with parking, but also with people just driving up and down these parking lots. I'm not sure what that is about, but it's busy. That's a good sign. Also, not sure why there is so much traffic over here. Let me just real quickly take a look. See, if we were to do this, that would be better, I think. Yeah, let people drive. So yeah, that is what we did this episode. We built this industrial area over here. We extended and we added a little bit of a commercial area over here, and we started on the island over here. And obviously, before I forget, we obviously need a district among this island. Excellent, there it is. More district it is called at the moment. Obviously, we are going to need a name for this one as well. Something island related, something water related. Maybe something to do with Brooklyn or Queens, since we are using that content creator pack. But yeah, this has been everything for today. It hasn't been exactly what I anticipated for today, but I am very pleased, as I said, with how this island starts to look. And next episode, we are definitely going to finish this island and fill it up completely. So, as I said, this is going to be it for today. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.